Ever wondered what happens to your body when you stop going outside? After all, with the wealth of movies and TV shows available on Netflix and grocery delivery services, spending time outside doesn't always seem necessary. But it turns out that not going outside could be seriously bad for you.
Still haven't left the house yet, huh?
I was getting ready to leave.
Good. Please hurry.
While many people find comfort and joy in having a cozy, relaxing weekend indoors, staying holed up inside for too long can actually have a negative effect on your mood. Research conducted by the Baker Research Institute in Melbourne, Australia, found that not spending enough time in sunlight directly impacts your body's level of serotonin, a feel-good chemical and neurotransmitter believed to be a natural mood stabilizer. According to WebMD, the study showed that the brain produces more of the happiness hormone on sunny days than on gloomier days. So by that logic, your brain produces more serotonin when you're outside in the sunlight than it does when you're inside basking in the light of your TV. As explained by a University of Cambridge study, low levels of serotonin weaken communication between certain parts of the brain, often resulting in feelings of aggressiveness. So next time you feel the impulse to snap on your significant other for leaving a dirty dish in the sink, maybe take a walk outside. If you're a late-night social media scroller, we have bad news. According to Harvard University researchers, the blue light emitted by our computer and phone screens suppresses melatonin, the brain's sleep hormone. This majorly throws off your body's circadian rhythm. However, according to Kenneth Wright, a sleep cycle expert and a professor of integrative physiology, exposure to natural morning light can help you get your circadian rhythm back on track. As reported by NPR, Wright came to this conclusion by studying two groups of people for 1 week. One group camped outdoors with limited access to any kind of technology, while the other group stayed indoors with no technological restrictions. Wright's research found that melatonin levels in the campers rose before bedtime and fell upon waking, while melatonin levels in the non-campers didn't fall until a couple of hours after they'd gotten out of bed. As Wright told NPR, by spending too much time glued to our phones and not enough time in the great outdoors, quote, our brains say we should be sleeping several hours after we wake up. Aches and pains are essentially inescapable. Even the healthiest of people experience the occasional leg cramp, stiff neck, and headache. However, according to experts, when you don't go outside, you don't get enough vitamin D, subsequently making yourself even more vulnerable to these pesky pains.
But I need my vitamin D.
You sure do. As noted by medical microbiologist and immunologist Margarita Cantorna, vitamin D is known as the sunshine vitamin because it's produced within the skin when your body is exposed to sunlight. Naturally then, staying indoors for extended periods of time and choosing to stop going outside drastically decreases your body's vitamin D production. And according to Dr. Greg Plotnikoff, low levels of vitamin D have been associated with all kinds of different aches and pains. A major lack of vitamin D is even known to cause rickets in children, which is characterized as severe muscle weakness, bone pain, and joint deformities. The expression cabin fever has been around since way before the messed up horror movie that shares its name. It's been around for a pretty long time. While cabin fever isn't technically a real psychological disorder, the feelings it evokes within people stuck inside for extended periods of time are very real and very unpleasant. According to a study published in the Journal of Social Psychology in the 1980s, the definition of cabin fever varies from person to person. However, for many of the study's participants, some of the most common indicators of cabin fever were boredom, agitation, and feelings of general dissatisfaction. While you may not be able to travel far from home, Psychology Today recommends breaking your cabin fever by spending time outdoors as much as possible. After all, the outside world is usually a beautiful place. Usually.
Stephen, don't make eye contact.
Unfortunately, no one is immune from stress. Even if you're not a person particularly prone to being stressed out, it's incredibly contagious, especially in a world filled with political turmoil, economic woes, and global health emergencies. Additionally, the emphasis that modern society places on hustling, grinding, and basically being a productivity machine is enough to make the most level-headed person feel overwhelmed. While your first instinct when you're feeling stressed might be to hide indoors, curl up on your couch and let Netflix work its its entertainment magic on your fried brain, experts say going outside is one of the best things you can do for your mental well-being. Psychotherapist Owen O'Kane told Metro, "When we spend time outside, the noises, textures, the light and smells of nature are a naturally conducive message for the brain to slow down. An added advantage is that it also supports an increase of serotonin and dopamine. These are the feel-good hormones, helping you feel calmer and happier." With all the information we consume daily, it's easy to feel like your brain is close to reaching its new information capacity. And as the years have gone by, you've likely found yourself forgetting things you once thought would be stored in your memory bank forever, like the face of an old classmate or the name of your first pet. While most everyone loses these types of non-essential memories as they grow older and have more life experiences, there are ways to exercise your brain and improve your memory. According to a 2008 study conducted by University of Michigan researchers, taking a scenic nature walk improved the short-term memory of participants by nearly 20%. In other words, if you've recently walked into a room and immediately forgotten your reason for being there, maybe you should go for a walk outside. If you're lucky, you love where you live. Whether you rent a 3-bedroom apartment with roommates, have a studio all to yourself, or live with your family in a house with its own yard, it's a great feeling to find comfort in the place you call home. After all, there aren't many things that can beat eating pizza and binge-watching The Office in the one place you feel most, well, at home. However, having too much of a good thing does exist, and in this case, it could be detrimental to your well-being. According to clinical psychologist Stephanie J. Wong, staying indoors for extended periods of time can, quote, facilitate and exacerbate symptoms of depression. Wong added, "While it may seem comforting to spend time in bed, wrapped up in the covers, doing so for long periods of time can decrease your motivation to engage in other activities."
I just want to lie in bed and watch Titanic and cry.
Home might be where the heart is, but staying locked up inside your home for too long and not going outside isn't good for your head. While you probably hated naps as a child, your adult self would likely give just about anything to be able to take a midday nap. Unfortunately, adulthood requires you to pony up and yawn your way through your day, no matter how sleepy you may be. That said, feeling constantly fatigued in your daily life is neither normal nor healthy. But if you're a person who only ventures outside when you absolutely have to, there's a good chance you feel mentally and/or physically tired more often than not, as medical professionals believe there to be a correlation between not getting enough vitamin D and feeling constantly fatigued, as noted by Cleveland Clinic. According to studies published in the Journal of Environmental Psychology in 2010, going outside may be the best way to boost your energy. Psychology professor and lead author on the studies, Richard Ryan, explained, "Often when we feel depleted, we reach for a cup of coffee, but research suggests a better way to get energized is to connect with nature." It's easier than ever before these days to simply skip the gym and complete your daily workout in the comfort of your own home. That is, if you have a daily workout regimen. But considering a 2013 CDC report revealed that a whopping 80% of Americans don't get enough exercise per day, it's safe to say the majority of folks aren't working out at the gym or at home. Of course, if you don't keep up with a daily at-home workout regimen and also refuse to spend any free time outdoors, you're unfortunately making yourself extra vulnerable to diseases that are associated with sedentary indoor lifestyles. That includes obesity, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. When you spend most of your time indoors and have stopped going outside, you have more opportunities to indulge in indoor activities, such as sitting on your sofa and binge-watching TV. And according to Lillian Chung, Director of Health Promotion and Communication at Harvard School of Public Health, this pastime has potential to wreak havoc on your health. Chung told NPR, "There's convincing evidence in adults that the more television they watch, the more likely they are to gain weight or become overweight or obese." Chances are you have childhood memories of your parents telling you not to sit too close to the television, as doing so would harm your vision. And if you're a parent yourself, you've likely issued a similar warning to your own children, heeding experts' advice about limiting the amount of time your kids spend staring at a computer or tablet screen. But while you've probably educated yourself on the activities that could negatively impact your child's eyesight, you may not be as aware of the activities that serve to improve your child's vision, such as going outside to play. According to a study published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science, playing outside could reduce your kids' chances of of needing glasses in the future. Even if a child has two nearsighted parents, the study found that approximately 14 hours of outdoor playtime per week could effectively neutralize their chance of needing glasses in the future to about 20%. For comparison, a child with two nearsighted parents who doesn't spend nearly enough time playing outdoors has about a 60% chance of requiring glasses, contacts, or other vision aids as they get older. Air pollution is a serious problem that has only gotten worse with a growing global population. And depending on where you live in the world and what medical conditions you may have, the threat of inhaling heavily polluted air could deter you from going outside at all, sometimes rightfully so. However, according to a study published in the journal Science of the Total Environment, as reported by CNBC, the air you breathe inside your home or office building could be even more dangerous than the polluted air outside. Researcher Prashant Kumar said that when we think of the term air pollution, we tend to think of things like car exhaust or noxious fumes from factories. But many sources of air pollution can possibly be found within your home. As he explained it, from cooking residue to paints, varnishes, and fungal spores, the air we breathe indoors is often more polluted than that outside. If the thought of laying on your couch and breathing in nothing but fungal spores and varnishes for days on end doesn't make you want to take a walk outside and get some fresh air, we're not sure what will. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more list videos about your favourite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.